So hey students, as your exams are now approaching, so now you must be looking for the videos or for the tricks to remember certain modules, especially in your grammar section. So कई बार क्या होता है कि हमें ग्रामर में काफ़ी कन्फ्यूजन हो जाती है बिकॉज जो सारे टॉपिक्स होते हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं एक दूसरे से इंटरलिंक्ड होते हैं. Like your tenses would be interlinked with your modals would further be interlinked somewhere with your active passage, or your active passage is going to be linked with your reported speech and other kind of things. So now you need not worry because here I am today with all the tricks and the ways that you can remember these tenses for your examination point of view. And anyway also you can remember tenses if you remember the basic rules, the basic tricks which I'm going to share with you. So now without wasting any time, we are going to see the rule, the trick to remember all the 4 categories of your present tense. So when it comes to present tense, एक बहुत ही basic सा rule है जो हम सबको पता है that when we talk about present tense, that means we are talking about an action which has taken place just now. कि वो action अभी हो रहा है या चल रहा है या वो just अभी हुआ है. So that is something which has taken place in present. So let's see what it says. So when we talk about simple present tense, then there we talk about the general facts, and these general facts are basically regarding the actions or your schedule or something like that. So let's see the example here. If I say I play cricket, then that's a general fact that yes, I play cricket. So I play cricket is simple present tense. So what is the trick for remembering simple present tense? That simple present tense talks about general facts. Then when it comes to your present continuous tense, so as we say continuous means continuing, something that we are discussing or an action which is still continuing. So continuing actions, one time actions. Okay, either it is going to be a continuing action or a continuous action, or it is going to be a one time action. So for example, I am playing cricket. So when I say I am playing, that means it is an action which is continuing, which hasn't stopped or which isn't over but is continuing. So for your present continuous tense, what are the topics we deal for your present continuous tense? We deal with an action, or we deal with the set of actions which are continuing or are one-time actions. Then what does your present perfect tense tells us? So if you want to remember what is a present perfect tense or how to make a sentence for a present perfect tense, then just remember that in present perfect tense we share general life experiences. For example, I have never played cricket. So it is a general life experience that yes, I haven't played cricket even once in my life. So if you want to frame a sentence, or if you want to remember how you are supposed to go through your present perfect tense, then the only trick to remember is that just remember one thing, that present perfect tense talks about general life experiences. So आप अपने जब जनरल लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस कैसे डिस्क्राइब करते हो, आपको उसी तरह से उसी फॉर्मेट में प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट टेंस के लिए अगर आपको बोला जाता है कि यू कन्वर्ट दिस सेंटेंस टू अ प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट टेंस, देन you are going to write it in this manner. Then the last is your present perfect continuous tense. So present perfect continuous tense के लिए क्या होता है? It is something, it tells us about an action which started in the past and is being continued, जो कि हम इनकी literal definitions में भी पढ़ते हैं. So present perfect continuous tense में क्या होगा? What is the thumb rule to remember it? That here in this sentence, we will be talking about an action which started in the past and is being continued. So if I say I have been playing cricket for 2 hours, that means the action of playing cricket started 2 hours before and is still being continued. So you see now this is really easy to remember. अगर आप इस तरह से अपने चारों ही सब कैटेगरीज को डिवाइड कर लोगे तो आपके लिए बहुत इजी हो जाएगा रिमेंबर करना, इसको याद करना कि इन तीनों ही चारों ही टेंसेस को किस तरह से हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं. सो लेट्स क्विकली समराइज फॉर योर प्रेजेंट टेंस. सो इफ़ यू हैव टू मेक अ सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस सेंटेंस, देन देयर you will be sharing just general facts. Then for your present continuous tense, you will be sharing about an action which is being continued or is a continuous action. Then in your present perfect tense, you will be sharing about your general life experiences. And the last, the present perfect continuous tense, in this tense, you will be sharing about an action which started in the past and is still being continued. So these were the thumb rules, these were the tricks to remember how you are supposed to frame sentences for your present tense. Now similarly, we are going to look on to the tricks, the thumb rule to remember or to write your past tense sentences. So when it comes to your simple past, here the action that started and finished in the past. So जब आपसे कोई पूछे कि simple past tense क्या होता है, so बहुत simple answer है कि past tense के sentences क्या बताते हैं, किसी एक action के बारे में बताते हैं जो पहले हुआ था और अब खत्म हो चुका है. That is your simple past tense. So let's see the example here. I played cricket. So I played cricket means the action is over now. When I have said that I played cricket, that means it's over. The action is over. Then when we talk about your past continuous tense, then it speaks about the action that were in continuing mode or that were continued in the past. This is continued. All right. So the actions that were continued or that were continued in the past. So let's see the example here. I was playing cricket. So you know the other person might have had asked that, oh, where were you? I called you. So we commonly say that, oh, I was doing this thing, or I was, watching TV, or I was playing cricket. So this is a past continuous tense कि हम एक उस एक्शन के बारे में बता रहे हैं जो कंप्लीट हो चुका है but was in a continuing motion in the past. Now let's see what is the trick to remember your past perfect tense. So here in past perfect tense, we talk about the actions completed or not completed at non-specific point of time in the past. कि हम किसी ऐसे एक्शन के बारे में बात करते हैं जो या तो कंप्लीट हो गया था या तो नहीं हुआ था, बट वी डोंट नो द एग्जैक्ट टाइम, वी डोंट हैव एनी स्पेसिफिक timings for it. So this is COMP is completed. All right, let's see the example here. I had played cricket. So this is something which has already been, this is an action which has already taken place. All right, and we know this, we get the sense that this action was completed. This action is not something that was unfinished or undone. ये action complete हो चुका था, but we don't know about the time. If the person is saying I had played cricket, तो हमें time का नहीं पता कि उसने उस दिन क्रिकेट खेला था या वो पिछले एक साल की बात बता रहा है. तो we don't know about the timings here. Now let's see what is the trick to remember framing of sentences in the past perfect continuous tense. So this speaks about the action that started in the past and is continuous. See, यही statement हमने present के लिए भी use किया था. So when we talk about the perfect continuous tenses, तो वो इसी तरह के होते हैं कि action complete हो चुका होता है, but it has been in a continuing motion. So for example, I had been playing cricket. So I had, जब हमने had use किया, that means it is anyway in past. And if you remember in the previous slide, here we had in the present perfect continuous tense, we had I have been playing cricket. Sorry, present perfect continuous tense. All right. So this is the minor difference in these two sentences. Rules दोनों के same है. Now this is the trick here कि rules for making present perfect continuous tense or the past perfect continuous sentence stands same. कि हम एक ऐसे एक्शन की बात कर रहे हैं जो कंप्लीट हो चुका है बट वॉज इन अ कंटिन्यूइंग मोशन. बट हमने यहाँ पे क्योंकि वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द पास्ट वी हैव यूज्ड हैड. सो दीज वर द 4 ट्रिक्स टू रिमेंबर how you're supposed to frame your sentences for the past tense. So if in your simple past tense, you are simply going to discuss about the actions which have already taken place, which are now completed. Whereas in the past continuous tense, we are going to look into the action, or we are going to see, or we are going to frame as if the actions that were being continued in the past, कि हम उन actions के बारे में बात करते हैं जो पहले भी हो रहे थे. Then in past perfect, we talk about the actions which were completed or not completed, and what is that one factor that we don't know here is time. We don't know about the timings here. We don't know about the specific time at which a particular thing took place. Then for the past perfect continuous, I've just told you that the rule remains same. कि कोई एक ऐसा action जो past में complete हो चुका है but was in a continuing motion. Okay, now so let's look into the rules or the tricks of making future tenses. So when we talk about future tense, that is something that we can guess, like we are predicting, or we are just guessing that it will happen, or it may happen, or something like that. That is something we are predicting. Future is obviously something that we predict. So now let's see the rule of remembering these tenses. So in order to frame simple future sentences, this is something where we talk about an action which is either planned or which is set to take place in future. So let's see the example here. I will play cricket. That means I am predicting an action which is to be taken place in the future. Similarly, let's see for the future continuous tense. So here we talk about the actions you think will or won't be continuing in future. Obviously, जब हम continuous tense की बात करते हैं, we generally, or it is very easy to guess that we are speaking about something which is in a continuing motion, or which is is continuing. So जब हम future continuous tenses की बात करेंगे, तो हम future continuous tense में हम उन actions के बारे में बात करेंगे which we think will or will not take place in a continuing motion. Let's see the example here. I will not be playing cricket. So I am telling that this playing cricket, the action is something which won't be continuing, or which is discontinuing, maybe from the next day. Now let's see the rule for making future perfect. So here it says that action that will or won't begin in the future. All right. So here we predict about an action which will or will not get extended, or will not take place in future. So for example, I will have played cricket for 2 years. So if I say I will have completed my graduation, I will have completed my graduation 3 years ago. So or 3 years or something like that. So this is something where we are predicting an action which will be taking place in the future. Now let's look into the future perfect continuous. So action you think will or won't have started and will be continuing. So let's read the example here. I won't have been playing cricket for 2 years. कि मैं ये बोलना चाह रही हूँ कि अब मुझे 2 साल हो जाएंगे that I am not playing cricket. So that is your future perfect continuous tense. So let's summarize the 4 subcategories and the trick to remember these 4 subcategories. So in our simple future, we talk about the actions planned. Then in our future continuous, we talk about the actions we think that will or will not take place in future, or won't be continuing in future basically. Then in your future perfect tense, we talk about the actions that will or will not have begun in the future. Then for the future perfect continuous, we talk about the actions we think that will or will not have had started in the future in a continuing or in a continuous way. So these were the quick tricks to remember when you go through your tenses for your examination or for your board examination this year. Now this is something which you can carry on throughout your life. You can remember these tricks, and this will help you fetching marks as well. If we talk about in a very particular point of mode, like we talk in literal terms related to the exams and everything, then obviously if you remember these tricks, it will help you fetching marks. And if you go through and if you practice the exercises for the same, it will get registered in your brain.